time for our long-awaited Europe/honeymoon haul. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celesta. We talk about all things luxury shopping and handbags. If you love those things, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do post videos every week. Okay, so I'm sure as many of you know, especially if you've been following me for a while, you know that whenever we take a trip, we always come back with a haul. And this haul did not disappoint. I kind of went in with lower expectations. I feel like previous trips and things like that, I've always had like a bigger list of things that I was looking for. And this trip, I really didn't have that much, but of course we still didn't come home empty-handed. So I wanted to go through everything I got, how much they cost, and then also I wanted to show you guys my 1-year wedding anniversary gift. So yeah, let's get into it. So if you've watched the travel vlogs, especially in the south of France, we stumbled across a store called Hermes. Half of my husband's family is Dutch, and so he used to go to the Netherlands quite a bit, and he was quite familiar with Hermes, and I love that Hermes has other stores in like other locations. I was trying to find some things at the Hermes store in Paris back in December when we went, and they didn't have too much. However, at the south of France, I feel like we hit the jackpot because they had a ton of Miffy things. If you watch the vlog, I already kind of gave like a little haul, but starting with the cutie little plush, I think this is so cute. I think it was like maybe 12 euros. Like it was quite affordable because let's be so for real, like this at Urban Outfitters or like those like Miffy dedicated stores, I think they have one in like Hawaii, it's gonna be like $45. So I feel like we got quite a steal on this. So this one I picked up for myself, and then I also got like a little travel water bottle. I don't really have one this size, and this is a really good size because it fits in my bags or like most of my bags, and I think this would be really good for like day trips and like traveling because when I have my Stanley, it is like an open top, so you can't like put it into a bag and whatnot. So I think this is a really good option. I did pick up a couple goodies for my friend who just had a baby. Not even just, she had a baby like 8 months ago at this point. But they have the cutest little baby things. So I picked up these cutie little socks, and then I also got this little spoon. It's like rubber or silicone or something like that, because he's like starting to eat. And then I remember her telling me when I was in Japan, I picked up this like cherry blossom Miffy oven mitt for her. And then like right before I left, she told me that her mom like accidentally burned the mitten, and I saw it at her house. I was like, oh, actually, girl, that looks kind of bad. So because of that, I picked her up like a Miffy oven mitt as well. Obviously not as cute as the one from Japan, but I'm sure it will do. We also picked up quite a few things at the French pharmacy. None of these are medication, which probably would have helped because I was really sick like the last day or so in Paris, and then obviously like once I got home too. But I found out that they are really big on like skincare. I knew that Caudalie was cheaper in Paris. And then after that, I started going down this rabbit hole of like different French pharmacy products I should be picking up because apparently a lot of people are going to French pharmacies. And I've been to Paris 4 times, and this was really the first time that I made a conscious decision to go shopping in the pharmacy. So here's everything I got. I also will be including like the prices and stuff. If you spend over either like 95 or 100 euros, then you get the VAT refund. Unfortunately, everything I bought at the French pharmacy was 78 euros. I probably could have bought more just to hit the VAT refund, but it wasn't that serious. So this is all I got. Starting with Vuitton, you do have to get this behind the counter, and this is supposed to be really good for like, I think it's meant for burns. So I actually have been using this on like sunburns. I feel like it's also really good for like, scrapes and cuts and things like that. It's kind of like the Vaseline and Aquaphor equivalent, but it's not as like thick and pasty, if that makes sense. It's more of like a cream. So this has been really nice. And the Vuitton is $4.95. I also picked up the A313. Again, this one was also behind the counter. These are the only 2 items that were behind the counter, and they were fully stocked on it. They did have different sizes actually of the Vuitton, and I think maybe this one as well. But the A313 costs $8.99. I haven't used this yet, but I think this is supposed to be more kind of like a retinol, helps with acne, spot treatment, that kind of thing. This was probably one of the most viral products when I was looking up like things to buy at the French pharmacy. This is the Embryolisse like lotion moisturizer for your face, and apparently a lot of makeup artists use this as their like the base for the makeup. And I will say I do really like this. If you have really sensitive skin, especially to like essential oils and stuff, it does have a pretty strong scent. I think it smells really good, and I personally haven't had any like issues with it, but that is something to note with this one. This one was $16.89. This was actually one of the more expensive things that we got at the French pharmacy, and I would definitely repurchase this again. Moving over to Caudalie, I did get 2 items from them. They do sell them in the French pharmacy, so it's really easy. I would have restocked on the spot treatment one. I forgot which one that one's called. It's like in the white bottle. But I still have half a bottle left, so I felt like I shouldn't restock on something that I still have. So I did pick up a mask though, because I got a mini version of this mask, fell in love with it, and this was over 50% off in Paris. So this was 20.78 euros, and then keep in mind this mask is, I believe, over $40 here in the US. And then I also finished one of my hand creams, but I got it in like a little trio set, so I repurchased another one. This one was 2 euros, and it's like the perfect little size to like fit into all of your bags and whatnot. I think I'm gonna give this one to my mom though, because I'm nice. But yeah, love Caudalie products, and I think you have to get them at the French pharmacy because it's like half off. I also picked up an SPF. Apparently also this is supposed to be really good for like under your makeup and things like that. This is SPF 50 and it has like optical blur. Don't know what that means, but I assume really good for under your makeup. I also have heard that like European sunscreens, because I feel like we always focus on like Asian sunscreens like Japan, Korea, you know, things like that. But apparently the French sunscreens are also quite good because they have a lot of ingredients that we just like don't include in our sunscreens. And to be honest, I don't have too many US face sunscreens. Yeah. I think like kind of my daily sunscreen like routines are usually from brands overseas. So that's cool to note. I got a sunscreen, and then I also picked up this like hydration mask from Aven. The hydration mask was $14.95. One thing about my mom is that she is a huge L'Occitane fan. And so she asked me to get one big one. Apparently in Paris they have different sizes, at least the last time she went. The last time she went to Paris, I'm pretty sure it was like 10 years ago. So that information might have been outdated. So we picked up the L'Occitane Immortelle Divine Youth Cream. This retails in the US for $120. I did pick this up at the airport for duty free. The total I paid in US dollars was $183. So we would have paid over $240 for 2. So we saved like $60. This is a steal. I knew that they had these at duty free, so this is why I didn't pick them up in the city center. They did have them in the city center, but with duty free, I think it's like 22% off technically. So we saved the most money getting it in duty free. So I picked 2 of them up in duty free. Moving over to something that I am personally really excited about because it's never really occurred to me to stop into this store abroad, especially in Europe, but we have Nespresso. I found this out really like accidentally because I knew that Nespresso was doing some kind of can pop-up, especially with their pistachio line, around the time that we were going to Cannes. So I was like, oh, let me like look online, let me see like where this is located, you know, whatever. And you know, when you're overseas, like it takes you to that country's website, so not like the US website, you know? And so I was like on the website and I noticed the pricing. It is like 7 to 8 euros per sleeve. Keep in mind, the pistachio one in the US is $15 before tax too. I think I picked up 4, maybe 5 sleeves. I don't actually remember how many I opened, to be honest, but I did get the pistachio one. I will say, again, very similar to last year's almond one, you don't really taste the pistachio. It's like hints of it, but I also add like vanilla syrup and milk and creamer and like all of this stuff into my latte. So I personally didn't taste it very much, but we did pick up one of these. These were like $7.50 750 or 780 euros. And same size too, so you're not getting less pods. It's just like half off. And then we also picked up a caramel one as well. And then I'm pretty sure I got like another like dolce double espresso, like kind of my usual go-tos. I didn't go overboard with an espresso, mainly because you have to bring it back. I guess I could have opened them up and then just had them like scattered throughout my suitcase, but I didn't bring as many back as I thought I would. And I also just restocked, but definitely the next time that I happen to be in Europe, assuming the price in Europe is kind of consistent throughout the entire continent, I will definitely be picking up more. If you guys remember my Christmas Europe haul, we spent days. We went to at least 4 or 5 Carrefours looking for this specific item. And my husband and my mom both like this tea. And when we finally found it in Nice, we found like a super Carrefour. It was like, they called it like a hypermarket or something like that. And it was huge. I've never seen such a big supermarket in the city center before, especially in Paris. They usually have just like the city ones or like the Express, so they're quite small. But of course, we came across these teas. It's the peach mango tea. So we got 4. And then we also got the mango lychee tea as well. My mom really likes this one. And then also for her in Lisbon, I feel like we couldn't leave Lisbon without like some sort of souvenir, you know? And so this is what we picked up. I guess in Lisbon, it's really popular for their sardine. And so we got this really cute little can. We did pick this sardine with mustards. I feel like that would be the one that she would like the most. It's a very touristy store and they have multiple locations. I'm pretty sure she said that they have a location in Times Square too, but I feel like you have to do it for the mems, and it's kind of a cute little canister. Is she gonna eat this? I don't know, but it's for the mems. Moving over to Polene. I honestly can't believe I found this, because our hotel that we stayed at, which was the same one as the one we stayed at in December, was down the street from the Polene store. And I think this is their new flagship in Champs-Élysées. They still have the original location, but this is the one that a lot of people go to. And I figured, okay, well, our hotel's down the street. Let's just walk by, and if there's a long line, then we won't wait, because also there's no guarantee that they have the item that you're looking for. And I'm kind of basing off of the stock online. So if it looks like it says pre-order online, I think it's safe to assume that they don't have that item in stores. You know what I mean? So when we get to Paris, we walk by huge lines. I was like, you know what? Forget it. It's fine. And then the next day we went to Le Bon Marché. I think that's the department store. So we were down over there. They do have a little store in that department store as well. And we went right at opening because that was just, we came from Cafe de Flore and everything like that. And there was no line. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pop in and like ask to see if they have it. If they have it, I'll get it. If they don't have it, then it's not a big deal, you know? And naturally, they had it. This is actually one of the newer items that I don't have yet. I really don't have that many new items from Polene. There really hasn't been anything that's been like piquing my interest in this one, except for this one pretty much. And they had it in the exact style and color that I wanted. And I was like, this is meant to be. So here she is. Have the box, the dust bag, everything. I actually haven't used this yet, and I'm really excited to use this. I was essentially waiting to film this video so that I can use it. Here she is. This is the Netty, I want to say. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is their kind of like little clutch, wallet, shoulder bag type bag. You can wear this 3 different ways. It has a magnetic closure. I do currently have it clipped on as a wristlet like this. I probably realistically will wear this mostly as a shoulder bag, which you can just wear like this. I think the yellow is really nice, and I've kind of been in a yellow phase, but I obviously don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a yellow bag in case that ends, which I did say the same thing about like my blue phase, and somehow we're still in the blue phase. So I do really like this style. I think it's super cute. The only thing I wish is that this bag either had a longer strap or an adjustable strap, because most of the Polene bags do have adjustable straps. Even their like little micro bags have adjustable straps, and this one, for whatever reason, like it's fine. It's not a big deal. Like it fits very comfortably, but I think I would have gotten a little bit more use out of it, even like in maybe winters and stuff like that, if it did have an adjustable strap. Off the bat, I don't think this is gonna fit very much. It does have a couple like interior pockets like this, but yeah, I'm really glad they had it, because I was like, I didn't want to wait in line for it. I didn't want it that badly, but they magically had it. This bag retails for $360 US. After shipping, because I don't live near a Polene store, it would cost me $380. However, I got this in Paris for 260 euros. And then I think I got about like $20 to $30 VAT refund back. So I paid after tax, conversion, everything like that, around 260 US dollars. So I still saved like 35%, which kind of a steal, and I feel like it's perfect for summer, especially now. Like even like the blue and yellow, like I don't know if I'm being delusional, but that's kind of cute. Also, they were so sweet. They have this little machine that presses like the scrap materials. I know that they do this in the New York store, but I think the New York store does keychains, and they made me like this little leather trinket tray kind of thing. I don't really know what I'm going to use this for. I think it's cute. I think it's really nice that they did that. But yeah, I'm going to figure out what I can put on this little trinket tray. It's kind of in their like cognac color. Kind of looks like a hat, but it's fine. Super cute. Next, we have Louis Vuitton. And I truly like can't even believe that I got my hands on this, because I walked in that store not expecting to get anything. And that's part of the problem. I went to the south of France around the time that the Murakami collection with the cherries dropped. And I was like, I would love to get maybe an SLG. I definitely don't want to get a bag because I don't think I like cherries enough to justify getting a bag. However, I came across this item and I was like, hey, do you possibly have like any kind of SLGs? Would love to look at them. And she was like, yes, of course. So she led me over and we found this item. And the problem was we found it, except I did not have my passport on me. So if I wanted to get the VAT refund back, I couldn't. And I was like, my hotel is literally 3 blocks away. I can run back to the hotel, get my passport, and come back. Can you just put it on hold for like an hour, 30 minutes? Like I'm a fast walker, okay? And she was like, no, we can't. And I was like, okay, well, that's fucking rude. And so we left, and it was around the time that we had plans for lunch and whatnot. So I was like, okay, let's just like stick with our original plan. Let's get lunch. Let's go back to the hotel. Let's change, get ready for beach club. I'll grab my passport, and then we'll come back. If it still happens to be here, then it's meant to be, you know? Like, I feel like I look for signs in the universe, as like woo-woo as that sounds. Like, you know, if you let something go and it comes back, it was meant to be yours. So it was meant to be mine because we're doing an unboxing. So I really like that at the can store, they give you this like little luggage tag, and then it says like can on it as well. Super cute. I'm not gonna lie, I already started using this because I was like, I have to. This is, how many times am I going to use this item a year? So we need to maximize how many times we use it. This item costs $550 here in the US before tax, and I got this for 480 euros. I got about a 50 euro VAT refund, so I paid maybe after, you know, conversion, everything like that, I think I paid around $460 for this item. And here she is. It is the Louis Vuitton Murakami passport holder with the cherries. I really like the red interior. I'm normally not a red girly, but I feel like this is almost like pink instead of like red, if that makes sense. Like if we're comparing red, this is red, and then this is a little bit like a cooler tone red. I don't know if that makes sense, but I do really like this color. I'm not normally a red girly, and I think this is so cute. I think it's just a fun little way to have pieces of the collection without spending thousands of dollars on something, because I know myself. I know I'm not a red girly. I know I'm not usually a cherry girly, and I know that I just like I don't want to spend thousands of dollars on a bag. So I'm glad I found the SLG and we love it. Moving over to Hermes. We really tried to manifest a Birkin. I was applying for the appointment every day we were in Europe. So like 2 weeks I was applying for this appointment. Never got it. I thought, okay, well, maybe I'll go into stores. Maybe I'll pick something up and then I can like, you know, request if there's any cancellations. Nope, didn't get it. But this is what I picked up, and it is an empty bag. I picked up a scarf for my friend, for Christina, and she was like, if they have this, can you pick it up for me? I was like, yes, of course. And I did want to include it in this haul because even though I didn't get anything, I'll show you guys a couple of clips and stuff of what it looks like. While it's not for me, I feel like we should talk about savings because I feel like Hermes has less of a VAT refund. They have like a higher processing fee or whatever you call it, or they keep more of the VAT than other brands. So usually in Paris, it's about 12%. And I'm pretty sure I only got like 10% back for the VAT. Again, not a huge deal, but if you were spending like $12,000 on a Birkin, like you know, it does add up. So the scarf here in the US retails for $620 before tax. We got it in Paris for 550 euros. And then I think I got about a $45 VAT refund. So she Venmo'd me a total US price with the conversion, everything like that, $540 something. So it still saved her over $100 getting the scarf in Paris over getting it here in the US. The last thing I'm so excited to share is my 1-year wedding anniversary gift. It's honestly so crazy that 1 year has already flown by like this. Honestly, I'm shocked. But I knew I wanted to get a piece of jewelry because I have a lot of bags. We shop a lot, as you can see in this haul, but I feel like jewelry has more of a meaning to me because I'm not really the type of person to buy and resell jewelry. Bags, shoes, yes, obviously, but I feel like with jewelry, it has a little bit more of a sentimental meaning for me. So I knew I wanted to stick to a piece of jewelry. I wasn't sure really what I wanted to get. And while I was at the Via Ross event back in May, before the trip, I was already kind of putting out feelers to see what I wanted. They put on this little jewelry try-on event, super fun in San Francisco. Got to meet the team. The team was amazing, and just got to try on a couple different pieces. I tried on this beautiful like 24 karat tennis necklace with pears on it. It was insane. So after we came back, I stopped by the showroom, tried on a couple things. I really liked that they had like this floating diamond pendant. They had tennis bracelets. They had a lot of stuff that you can try on in stores. And I tried on a bunch of rings as well. But what I really liked is that they would custom make whatever you wanted. And I know a lot of jewelers do this, especially like smaller jewelers. Like I think the big box jewelers are a little bit less as customization friendly, you know, but I wanted to do an eternity band. I knew I wanted to do diamond eternity band. I didn't know what shape I wanted. So we kind of pulled out a couple different size shapes, put them next to my finger just to really like envision what it looks like. I understand I'm a little bit picky when it comes to these things. When you're customizing a piece that you're going to keep forever and probably pass down, like you want to be a little bit more like attention to detail, you know? And so I wasn't sure exactly which shape and which size I wanted. And then I also knew I wanted to do a half eternity. But the problem with the half eternity is I wanted to make sure as I'm wearing it, it's like when I'm closing my fingers, it looks full, but it doesn't pinch on the side of my fingers. Like if I'm trying to push my fingers together, they still close all the way. And I know it can be done, but it just takes a crazy amount of measuring and attention to detail and making sure all the stones fit, which the Via Ross team did an amazing job of. I know you're wondering, like, so where's the ring? She's still in production. It usually takes about 6 weeks. I know they were so kind and they were expediting this for me because obviously the anniversary was kind of a while ago at this point, but we are in the process of still making. I think it should be ready in the next couple days. So if you want to see what the final result looks like, it will be on my Instagram and TikTok. And I just like am so excited for this piece. I think this is going to be a piece that I'm going to wear forever. I think majority of the time I'm going to wear it on my right hand, but I definitely see myself stacking it with my ring as well. So overall, really excited for it. I can't wait to share. So that sums it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions on kind of the VAT refund process, everything like that. I do have a very detailed video with my calculator of savings and everything that I'll leave in the description box below. And because I went to very like detail with that, I kind of just breezed through it in this video, but I'll leave that in the description box below for you guys if you have any questions. Let me know in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep an eye out. It is Leo season approaching, and we will be going on like a little girls trip. I'll be doing a birthday haul, like all of these fun little things. So if you like these hauls and videos like this, make sure you subscribe and we will be back. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll leave another video for you guys here and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!